Good morning, students. Welcome back to online session of Social Sciences. In last class, I have explained regarding the settlements and transport. In the transport part, I have explained only roadways. In that, we have studied that there are two types of roads in India, unsurfaced road and surfaced road. And after that, we have studied that there are many international highways which are very long. One of that highways is 1300 kilometers long, and that name of that highway is Karakoram Highway, and it is the world's highest highway, and it is connecting Abbottabad in Pakistan to Shenyang in China. Now I'll explain about the railways. So at present there are three types of locomotives: electric, diesel electric and diesel. Now I'll show the pictures of this kind of locomotives. Locomotive in common language we are saying that engines or train. Okay. See, this is the picture of electric engine. Now this electric engine or electric locomotive, that power is supplied by overhead cable. Here in picture you can see that wires are there, and with the help of that wires only these locomotives are moving. Next is diesel electric locomotive or diesel electric engines. These are running on mechanical transmission, and after this we are having this diesel engines. These engines are running by diesel only. Now, do you know the world's fastest train? Which is the world's fastest train? Yes, that is TGV, Train a Grand Viste. I'll show the picture of that train also. See, this is the picture of TGV. It is of France. Okay, next picture I will show, that is the bullet train of Japan. See, this is the bullet train of Japan, and they are running by electricity. Now there are also some transcontinental railways, means railways which is covering that long area from one corner of that continent to the other corner of the continent. Among that railways we are having Trans-Siberian Railway. It is running from one end of the Eurasia to the other, and there are many other special trains also which are covering a very large area or very large distance. So among the trains, some trains are very fast trains. I'll show the picture of some fast trains. See, this is a picture of monorail. It can be easily seen in Germany. Beside this, we are having maglev trains. See, this is the maglev train, and this is not that upside down picture. It is not that one. It is the correct picture. These maglev trains, they are moving while suspended in the mid-air, and that is running by the help of magnetic levitation. Okay. In many cities of the world like London, New York, New Delhi and Kolkata, they are having metro railways. See, I'll show the picture of metro railways. See, these kind of metro railways, they are running in many metropolitan cities of India also. How they are moving? They are not moving on that normal tracks as we are seeing that normal tracks are there. It is not running on that. They are running on that elevated surface that is above the ground, and this is providing a very fast and comfortable service to the people. Okay. See, from inside, that metro train is like this. The seats are there. it is very different from that common trains in already we travels. Okay, this is the little bit different from inside. Next is water transport. It can generally be divided into inland waterways and ocean route. So this picture you are seeing, that is an example or picture of inland waterways, and these are provided by the water transport services. It can be in sea or big lake or rivers. Now these waterways are still the very cheapest means of transport. Beside this, we are having some ocean routes also. See, these are the few ocean routes. Means these are helping people to move from one place to another place with the help of ocean. There are 6 major ocean routes, among which the North Atlantic Sea route is the biggest one. See, this is a picture of North Atlantic Sea route. Beside this, we are having Pacific Ocean route. See, this is the Pacific Ocean route. It is connecting the west coast of America with the east coast of Asia. With the here picture you can easily see. Then we are having next is Cape of Good. The next is Cape of Good Hope. Here you can see. This is connecting Europe with Africa. You can see here. Here is Europe and this is Africa. So this Cape of Hope route, it is connecting Europe with Africa. Here, as you can see. Then we are having South Atlantic route, and it is connecting North America to South America. Beside this, 2 more routes are there, that is connecting Melbourne in Australia with Buenos Aires in South America via Cape of Good Hope. And the last one is Panama Canal route. It is connecting London with Melbourne via Panama. This is the picture of that last route, Panama Canal route. Now India has a coastline of 5,600 kilometers and there are 12 major ports. See, this is the coastline of India. You can see the area that is in dark shade indicates the coastal India. The length of this coastal line is 5,600 kilometers. And there are 12 major ports in India. From left here we can see that from left hand side, Kandla, Mumbai, JNP, Goa, Mangalore, Kochi, Tuticorin, China, Vizag, Paradeep, Haldia, Kolkata. So there are 12 major ports in India. Among these coast, Mumbai, Kandla, Chennai and Tuticorin are the most important coasts. Okay. Next is air transport. Now this air transport is the fastest means of transport, but it is very expensive mode of transport. It is very important in the present area of globalization. Why? Because people, they want to go from one continent to other continent or one place to another place in a very short period. So there are many international ports and national international ports are there, and that among that ports the major and busy international airports are London, New York, Paris, Rome, New Delhi, Mumbai, Karachi, Bangkok, Singapore, Tokyo, Los Angeles, Chicago, Buenos Aires and Rio de Janeiro. Now India, they are having 2 types of airlines, that private airlines and airlines in the public sector. Now, two major private airlines are SpiceJet and Airgo. And two airlines which is in public sector are Air India and Indian Airlines. Now, these airlines link India to more than 100 different countries. Now, communication. There are two types of communication: personal communication and mass communication. Now, this personal communication means when that we are communicating any message or talking to someone personally. Okay, that is called personal communication. Post, telegraph, telephone, computer, fax, all these are the examples of personal communication. Mass communication means when, or we can say that is the medium of communication that is catering to large number of people at a time. And the examples of mass communication are radio, television, newspaper and outdoor advertising. Now in the latest one we are having mobiles, mobile phones, SMS, videos, cable television, email, satellite phones, etc. Now we will understand about the personal communication. So personal communication, that is using postal stationery articles like postcard, envelopes, and this is about 160 years ago. But nowadays before that the people they were sending their message through the carrier pigeons. I'll show the picture of that carrier pigeon. See, this is the picture of carrier pigeon. You can see here green piece like this. Here you can see. Okay, this is the kind of message which the people they were sending to the other person. Likewise, they were using pigeon for the communication. And beside this, they were having some runners or horse stage or coach services. And all these services developed in China, Persia, Greece and Rome. I'll show the picture of runners. See, horse riders. Like this, they were taking message and communicating to the respective person. Now, do you know whose picture is this? Can you recognize this person? This is the picture of Samuel Morse, and he has developed the Morse code in 1830. Now, Alexander Graham Bell, he have invented a telephone in 1876, and it was a great revolution in the part of or in the field of communication. See how he have developed the telephone. Now how this telephone is working, all the telephones line, they are going to one area, meeting at one place, and that particular place is called telephone exchange. Now the system, they were linked with the telephones, and after that the people they've started using this to connect the fax machine and the home computers. And the first internet service that it was provided by the standard telephone to link computers via a modem. I will show this picture of this connection. See, this is the picture of that connection. Simple telephone is here, and the telephone is connected to the computers with the help of modem. Nowadays we are having telephones which are without the cable links, and after this invention, that standard telephone, nowadays nobody that people are using that standard telephones. Now instead of wires, that radio waves are used to transmit signals and messages between the cell and another mode of communication. Now if that people they are using mobile, means a person if when it is calling to another person, it is also having that mobile, then easily it will be message will be easily sent. Now what will happen if a person is one person is having mobile and another person is having that telephone? Then the cellular exchange, they will direct the message between the caller and receiver. Okay. Now if one person is having mobile and another is having landline, then what will happen? Then there is a special cellular switching station. They redirect the call into the cellular phone network. Now internet, that nowadays people are using internet. So in that internet, two major developments were there. First was that email and another was www. Full form is World Wide Web. Now both are different. Email, they are receiving come transmission system, and the www dot or web World Wide Web is the information gathering come storage system. Now in mass communication, we are having a lot of modes. Many different modes are there, like radio, television, newspaper. Beside this, we are having outdoor advertising like kiosks, billboards and hoardings. They all are doing a very vital role in the changes or in communicating the message all over the world. Nowadays, that as we have seen that for personal communication, mobile will be used. Now this mobile can be used in mass communication also. How? As you all know that conference facility is there in mobile. So with the help of that conference facility, a person can talk to more than 2 or 3 person, and in this manner personal communication can be converted into mass communication. And there are various applications are there, like 3-dimensional graphics are there, animations are there. They are helping in mass communication. Now in that global society, add modern modes of transport and communications are there, and all they are bringing the people very close. So why? Because the people, with the help of transport or with the help of communication, they can easily come to the people, okay, to talk or for their own work. Now this globalization, this is helping, or this is improving the economy of the world. Why? Because of the reason of business also, person can travel from one place to another place, or for the business purpose they will communicate with each other. So in this manner, that whole world has been globalized, and people, they all have come together and they all have come very closer to each other.